Hey, it's Logan Christopher back from Legendary Strength to talk about some mental frames and specifically motivation. If you missed the previous video, that's where we talked about motivation direction, where we have the two different polar opposites, towards and away from, essentially the carrot and the stick. And that's really important. The second thing we're going to talk about here is motivation source. And this is internal and external. And so when we're talking about motivation source, this is the source of your motivation. Does it come internally or does it come externally? Now this is a very important thing. Beyond this, you can be mixed and matched across these different ones. But internally, that means the motivation comes from within. There isn't anyone out there saying something that really gets you to do something. It has to become that decision in yourself, that desire, that drive within yourself. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be motivated. Contrast that to an externally motivated person. That person, the people around them are going to matter much more. It's what they think. So if you have an externally away from motivated person, if a lot of people are snickering behind their back, calling them fat, that sort of thing, that's actually going to get them to go. But if you have an internally motivated away from person, the people saying that they're fat isn't going to matter to them until they decide for themselves that that is really important. To contrast that, externally towards motivation person would look at what are the goals, what are the benchmarks other people are setting, saying, oh, you should be able to do 100 push-ups or 10 pull-ups. They're going to take that goal and grab onto it because these other sources, these external sources, often of authority, are going to say this is something you should go for. Versus an internally towards motivated person would find those goals that they want to do themselves. They may still get ideas from other ones, but unless that drive is there within themselves, then they're not going to go for that in the first place. It doesn't really matter what other people do. I would say I'm primarily internally and towards motivated. That's why I do these very off-the-wall goals. I do whatever excites me, like doing a bridge supporting half a ton on top of that, or rack pulls with over half a ton, or lighting kettlebells on fire. These are all things that I wanted to do, so towards motivated, and I wanted to do, so it was internal in that first place. You have to understand yourself. This goes back to what's on the Oracle of Delphi, know thyself. If you don't know this stuff, then you're going to be limited in how effective you can be in the gym as well as other parts of the world. Once again, this stuff does change across context. It can change over time, but you need to know your defaults at the very least. Find out more information about mental frames and all sorts of mental training, things that are important to know for your training, for your health, over at legendarystrength.com.